Hello everybody, this is Howard Teaserking coming to you with week 11 of college football. Lately I've been doing these big 10, 11, 20 game teasers just to give you a lot of flavor of my college picking and have some fun and allow you to make multiple teams. Really, you get odds with it, and there's so many games to play in college. I mean, I can easily pick 5-6 games, 5-6 overs. In college they'll score all these points because they stop the clock for a first down. The defenses aren't that strong. You get a team like Baylor or Bowling Green or Tulsa who just lights it up. They got good quarterbacks and good offensive systems. They're going to score a lot of points. Makes the over-unders fairly easy, and they're going to score a lot of, you're getting 80, 90 point games. So the over-unders are there now, and I just see that a good way to make money. I had a 5-team teaser last week playing my locks. I had 5 locks going. I won all 5. Played it in a 5-team teaser. Got about 4-1 odds on it. I was going to play the games anyway. In fact, of course I did. I had my normal 2-team teasers. But you got to be careful when you play a 2-team teaser. That's where you're making your money. You only got to hit 2 games. When you start playing 5, 6, 7-team teasers, you get that one loser. You got to be careful. And also, you can play like a 7-team teaser with the 7th game. Let's say you play 6 college. Play the 7th game in the pros. And that way, you can trap the game where you can't lose. So you just got to be careful with that. And that's the bet you like, is when you can't lose and you're going to win. With that said, let's get on to week 11. A lot of interesting matchups. You got teams trying to win the 6th game to get to the bowl, trying to win their league championship. Teams after a loss, revenge games, all that kind of stuff. I have 2 locks going in college, so it's not as strong. Last week I had 4 college locks. Like I said, my locks are 25-1, meaning I've hit 25 lock teams, probably a lot more teaser bets because I play them in multiple team teasers, and I play them for a lot more. So when I go 25-1, I'm just really hitting a lot of money because I'm playing them in 2-3 teasers, and I'm playing them for more money. So when I miss my locks, it hurts me, but when I'm hitting them like now, it's really profitable. So let's get on. Some strange lines that I'm seeing that I really like. Let's talk about that. Let's go today. Cincinnati, Tulsa. Cincinnati laying 17, over under of 76. Tulsa runs the Baylor offense, very explosive. Cincinnati's got a great quarterback in Keel. They'll score a lot of points. No, not a lot of defense from Tulsa. Cincinnati, not a big defensive team. I think the 17 is a bit high because Tulsa's played Oklahoma fairly well. They played a few good teams fairly well. I love the over in the game, 76 down to 70. I'm trying to use the best over line at the time. And these over-unders, I noticed, these lines really jump from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday. And I'm starting to put them out on my picks Monday and Tuesday because I'll see a line like yesterday's Toledo game. It started at 60, went down to 52, and the game was on Tuesday. So from Sunday to Tuesday, the line went from 60 to 52. It ended at a 51. So the over did go down from 60 to 52. So everybody bet the under, and it did go under. Toledo's a good defensive team. They're not a great offensive team. Central has a good defense. They played Oklahoma State well, and they have a really good quarterback. So it was a really good game, but it just shows you that over and under went 8 points, but the line went from, I think, 4 to 3.5. So the line really doesn't move. Maybe it went to 3 or something. The line moved a point, but the over-under moved 8. So that's why I'm posting my over-unders as quick as I can. You can see they do move. Tonight's game, Bowling Green went from a 75 down to 71.5 because they were worried about rain, I guess. and now I see it kicked off at 73. So I guess they're not going to get rain, which makes me feel good because I took Bowling Green in the over against Western, two explosive teams, not with the greatest of defenses. So like the Tulsa and Cincinnati. So, but that's my point. The over/unders really move a lot more than the line. The line there is 3, 3.5, stayed 3, 3.5. The over/under moved 4 or 5 points. So you just got to keep your eye on it. And it tends to move really quickly, which means to me it's very profitable because people are betting it and betting it hard. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the opening to the closing. And if it moves 6, 7 points one way and it ends and they're all winners, then that's another thing to look at to make us money. Michigan 13 over Indiana, over under a 56. Now, this is a really weird team, Michigan. They went from the best under because they had no quarterback, good defense, good running attack. All of a sudden, Michigan State scores 21 on them and they play an over game. Now they're playing overs. They go over against a weak, strong defense, weak offense, Minnesota. And now they got Indiana, and it's only 56. Indiana will score points on anybody. They scored, I think, 27 on Ohio State. They put up a lot. I think they played Michigan State. I don't recall, but Indiana puts up a lot of points. I know they played Ohio State and put up over 20. I don't see why they won't put up 20 on Michigan. Michigan shows they're a little weak against the pass. Indiana's very balanced. They'll score points. Their defense is a little weak. Michigan will run on them. I'm not crazy about the 13. Again, I think it's Harbaugh, and I think it's too many. Now, Michigan, even if Michigan was laying 7, I wouldn't lock Michigan -1. I wouldn't trust them to win at Indiana because Indiana's got a good team. I think this line's too high. I would probably take Indiana in the 19, but I think I like the over better at 50. I think Indiana has no trouble putting up 24, 28. Michigan will have no trouble putting up 24, 28. Let's say it's 24 and 24 is 48. Over under 56 down to 50. So I need 2 points. I don't see why these teams can't. I mean, that's bottom line 24 all. I can definitely see them getting into the 30s. So Michigan's not going to shut out Indiana. That's not going to happen. Indiana's got a better offense than Michigan State, I think, or at least equal. But they seem to run better. They got a better runner. So I just look at this game as going over 50. Probably the best way to play it. Michigan State, Maryland. Michigan State got so screwed last week. But again, that cornerback can't cover me, although I am a really good receiver. I was a good athlete. I was a good football player, good baseball player. But just with that joke beside, you got to double team the guy and you have a safety back there somewhere. You know they're throwing long. They don't have much time. I don't know where the safeties were on that play. I don't know where the rush was on that play. You can't let them just throw 40-yard passes. However, Michigan State's a very strong over team. Just like last week, had them over against Nebraska. Here, again, laying 56. I think it's an easy over of 50. I don't trust Maryland, but Maryland does score. I've noticed Maryland against the Ohio States and against some of the better teams still putting up 24s. Michigan State's secondary is terrible, and it's the injuries. They have lost at least 4 or 5 secondary guys, so they're down to their freshmen. Basically, that's the problem. I think the coach has done a great job considering he's lost four guys in the secondary. Let's see Alabama lose 4 guys in the secondary, and see where they're at. So Michigan State, Cook will hammer Maryland. But Michigan State's defense is so weak that Maryland can throw on them. I just see this game also going over. I think Michigan State gets mad. Normally after a loss, Michigan State's a great play, but their defense is so weak, it's hard to get excited. Even laying 8.5 to Maryland, it's just, you just see the defense and you're like, eh. Next game, Memphis and Houston. Houston laying 7, over under a 70. And that over-under dropped a little bit. At first, I liked the over in this game. Memphis, great quarterback, Houston. But I'm looking at Houston, and they don't really play a lot of overs. They're like Cal. Cal, I thought, was his over team because they had the quarterback, but they don't seem to score a lot of points. I don't know if it's the coaching, the play calling. You know, they get 28, they get 30, but they don't get the 50s. Houston puts up 50, but it's against North Texas and New Mexico State. I noticed here against the better teams that Houston isn't really. It's more a little more defense, a little more running. The quarterback's kind of a good runner and a passer. I do think they score a lot here. I don't see how they're going to shut Memphis down totally. Really what Navy did to Memphis, they got a few interceptions and they basically ran the ball. They had 37 minutes time of possession. I don't know if Houston's going to do that or not. So kind of not sure about the over, and it is coming down from 72 to 70. I still see Memphis. I see both teams in the 30s, but I don't see it as a 90-point game. I'm sure Memphis off of a loss is good. I actually like Memphis in the 13 in this game. I look back, they're a very strong road dog, and this is going at UCLA. We know they beat Mississippi, so they can play with some very good teams here. I'm not crazy about the over as much. I do like the over because you have two good passing teams, good offensive teams. But I just definitely like Memphis in the 13 a little bit more than I like the over. But I like them both. TCU laying 44 to Kansas. I don't know. I mean, TCU should kill them after a loss. They lost their great receiver. That kind of hesitates me because the guys who came in were just like lost out there. And I'm sure they'll be better because they know they're going to play and they've had practice. TCU at home is so strong. Kansas is just terrible. You can't play the over because you can't count on Kansas scoring. I think TCU shuts them out. I would say they'll probably get close. They'll probably be in the 40s. Spread's 44, late 38. It's not great because of the receiver going down. But TCU after a loss will pound them. You got to watch these teams: Michigan State, TCU, off a loss, very emotional, and you know they are well coached. North Carolina laying 12 to Miami. I like North Carolina here. Any team that puts up 66 on Duke, you got to be kidding me. That's incredible. Duke's very strong defense. Cash, All-American safety, high draft pick. They ate his lunch. I mean, forget about it. They'll kill Miami. Miami's not that good. There's no Michael Irvin there. There's no Jeremy Shockey. There's none of my boys are there anymore. It's so sad to see Miami terrible, but North Carolina is a very good team at home. All you got to win by is 6. Now, this would be an example. If this line was 7 or 8, this would be a lock. Because it's 12.5, I can't lock 6.5. But the way North Carolina is playing, they've covered every week. Miami, they barely beat Virginia, who's not any good. I just see North Carolina all over Miami here. LSU laying 7.5 to Arkansas, off a loss. Arkansas, I'm very disappointed in Arkansas this year. They lost to freaking Toledo, for Christ's sake. I like LSU down to 1.5 at home. They're going to run Fournette. He's got to be pissed off. But that's the thing when you don't have a quarterback. When you finally face a great defense like Alabama, you beat them with the quarterback. And I've said that's why I took Ole Miss, because their quarterback can move around. He's a good quarterback, and that's Alabama's weakness against the pass. LSU does not have a quarterback, and I don't know why. It's so hard for LSU to get a quarterback all these years. But that's what stopped them. I mean, when they had a decent quarterback, they won the title. And they can't get a quarterback. And I don't know if they get the running quarterbacks or what, but if the guy would wake up and get a normal passing, get one of these Baylor guys, they'd win the title every year because Alabama couldn't stop them. In this situation, their defense will shut down Arkansas. They're going to pound Fournette through them. LSU minus 1.5, I'll have no problem here. Tennessee 41 over North Texas. Love Tennessee. They need this for the bowl. North Texas is terrible. They won't score. Tennessee shuts them out 55 to nothing. After playing Alabama, Florida, Georgia, this will be like a practice for Tennessee. They'll win big. And last game, Stanford laying 10 to Oregon. Can you explain that to me? Because I can't. That number is way too high. Oregon, again, with Adams at quarterback, they're a much better team. They've started to win. Yeah, they lost to Utah, and there's a lot of returns in that game. Adams didn't play, so you can't really count it. If he did play, I don't remember, but he got hurt, or he was playing with a broken finger, whatever it was. Okay, fine, but then they've come on and beat Washington. They beat Cal. They beat a lot of good teams, and Stanford is a good defensive team, but Oregon knows how to beat them. And Stanford, really the quarterback runs. They got this one guy that, come on, this guy for the Heisman, are you kidding me? He won't even be drafted in the first 5 rounds. I don't see this McCaffrey doing anything. Hogan at quarterbacks, okay, I don't see he's great. His numbers aren't that great. I just think you're going to give me Oregon in 16 points, I'll take it all day long. Oregon plus the points in this one, and I don't see any issues. All right, everybody, that's Teaserking. Again, I have 2 locks going in college, 4 locks in the pros. This is the week to buy the locks. I got 6 very strong ones. I could have 8. I could have 6 in the pros. Definitely 2 in the college. Some other strong plays in college. Buy my locks. Buy my pros. You can buy the college. You can buy the whole package. The discount to buy everything. This is the week to do it. It's just a very strong week, both in college, but pros is super strong and the locks are super strong. All right, everybody, good luck. Again, www.teaserking.com. Good luck to you. I hope you break your bookies. And let's roll. Again, locks are 25-1, and I got 6, so I'm looking to get to 31-1. I don't want to jinx myself, so I won't say it. But I've been red hot on them, and I got very good plays. And I'm just I see it, and I'm playing it, and I'm not like scared to not lose one. It's I just play very hard. And I'm just on a roll, and I'm seeing it very, very clearly. I'm in a different world right now. My zone is somewhere up here where I can see a lot of things, and things are very, very in focus right now. So definitely get in on it while I'm hot. I've been hot all year. I only had 1 bad week, and I'm looking for another big week this week. Okay, everybody, again, www.teaserking.com. Good luck to you, and I want you to make a lot of money.